Hello, hello. Hello, everybody. How's it going? Um, just rushed back. We actually went to lunch with some friends. So I said, well, I got to make sure I'm out of here by like 2 o'clock because I have to make sure I am. Ooh, hold on. I hear the double sound. Just rushed back. We actually went to lunch with some friends. So I said, well, okay, apologies for the double audio, but I think I got it back. All right, so we are good. So yeah, so we went to lunch with some friends, and I had to rush back because I had to make sure I remembered how to put together that box card that I'm going to demonstrate for you guys today. So let me just go ahead and kind of go through the roll call, see who's here. I see Suzanne is here. She's asking about the time, so we'll talk about that in a minute. Let's see. Melody, hello, Melody. Jim, hello, hello. Hi, Elizabeth. And let's see. Yep, looks like that's all I can see in the chat. So I see there's some chitter chatter about Tim Holtz's video. I have not seen it. I did take a look at some of the items. Let me just fix this cord. Hold on a second. I did take a look at some of the new Sissics items. Not sure if I'm gonna get any. We'll see. If I do get any, I probably will get the car. I like that old car. That was kind of cool. But not sure about the rest of the stuff. I always love getting the stamps because with the stamps I can create my own ephemera and stuff like that. So not sure about the Sissics yet. And the dies tend to be a little costly, so I have to really be particular about that. So I see Mary has joined us and Robin. Hello, ladies. So today, I actually have a plan today. We are going to create that box card, that pop-up card that I shared with you earlier. So I was able to pre-plan my session today. So that's what we're going to be doing today. And let's see, so Melody said that she bought the rabbits. And Elizabeth is talking about the embossing folders. So yeah, so I haven't committed to any purchases yet. To be honest with you guys, I haven't bought any craft supplies this year yet, but I know we're only in January, so there is still plenty of time to get out the checkbook, right? So yeah, so that is my story. You know, a lot of times I don't buy, and I think I shared with this with you on Friday when I kind of jumped on. I don't buy a lot of seasonal dies except for Halloween and Christmas. I tend to craft a lot during the last quarter of the month. Don't tend to craft a lot for Valentine's Day. I should do more birthdays, but I have enough dies for birthdays, balloons. I can create digitals for those. So I tend to be a little bit more particular with stuff like that. But we'll see. So Elizabeth says she used an used a gift card and $8 cash the other day. So sticking to my low buy. Good for you, Elizabeth. Yeah. Rainbow Obsidian. Hello, lady. I haven't seen you in a while. Thanks for joining. So I've been busy. I'm going to go ahead and transition down, y'all, and let's talk about what we're going to do today. But before I do that, it snowed last night here. Surprise, surprise. Before I do that, I just want to do a shout out to my Patreons and do a very big thank you. Thank you. My Patreon membership is growing, so I appreciate that. If you haven't signed up for my Patreon membership yet, I have 3 tiers. I have a fan membership where it's just $3 a month. That's it. If I could entertain you for $3 a month, and it is in your budget, that's a good membership for you. The creator membership to me is a very good value at a low cost. And you get a kit of the month with the creator membership. You also get freebies that I throw at you throughout the month. So the last thing I threw at you for my creator membership is I made, what did I make? I made the Valentine cards, you guys. So, the Valentine boxes, I should say. So if you recall, my last kit that I shared with you was the Valentine candy boxes. And I made a special one for my Patreons, and I put it in our super private chat group. We have a super private chat group. So I made a special one for them, and I put it out there for them. So as a Patreon, they got an extra box, a candy box, and they got it for free. So I try to do extras for my for my creator membership and my fan group. And then, of course, there's the Backstage Pass, where that will give you full access to all of my digitals within the shop. So we've got a few people that have taken advantage of that. So if you are able to join one of my membership groups, I appreciate that. If it is not in your budget, I completely understand, and I'm glad you can still just join me for fun. So to all of my members, thank you, a big thank you. I appreciate you very much. You're the ones that help me stay in business to be able to provide content. So I appreciate that. Hello, Cordelia. Can you switch my screen back? Can you switch your screen back? Can I switch it back to my camera? Yes, I am going to be doing that. So Jim is getting bossy, I guess. Jim. All right, so here we go. So I just wanted to excuse me, my goodness. I wanted to remind you about my little Valentine's Day boxes. So this is what I was sharing with you. That was my latest kit. And this is a digital kit. And then I made an extra box for my Patreon members. So just a little extras here and there as I can do that. Hello, Susie. All right, so let's get to today. I have some hot tea because I've got a little bit of a scratchy throat. I don't know why. So excuse the cough. All right, so this is what we're going to do today. And I may not make the whole card. My goal is to show you how I made this little pop-up box, and it folds down into an envelope nicely. This is based on a die, I guess, that's out there. And when I went to look at the price of the die, they were in England, so I knew I wasn't going to do that. I'm sure there are dies out there that do this, but you know, sometimes I'm frugal. So yeah, I need smooth chocolates. Yes, need something, right? I'm sure there's dies out there that do that, and like I said, I'm a little frugal. I needed to make a birthday card for my son, and I wanted to do something a little different. So as I started playing with this design, it took me five attempts, you guys, to do this. And I'm sure the 5 attempts had to do with math. I'm not great at figuring it out. Part of it is because I tend to rush when I'm crafting. So here was my prototype, I should say. And my prototype, my beer bottles were too wobbly. Was not happy about that. And as you can see here, I needed to anchor it down. So I finally figured it out. So let me go ahead and show you how I did this. What I like about this also is, I think once you kind of get it down, you can make any type of box, right? So for spring, I was thinking about making a flower bed, you know, and doing flowers. What are some other ideas you guys think? So I definitely thought of the flower bed idea. And you can even make it into a square flower bed if you wanted to. But the beer, again, this was an idea I saw somebody doing this with a die, and they had 3, so they had 3 and 3, and so I did the 2 and the 2, and then they didn't have the beer in front or the 26 for the birth date. That was all me, and then of course I put my son's name here as a pop-up. This is a 6x6, a toaster. Very good. I guess you could have toast coming out, right? A toast to you. So a toaster, that's a cute idea as well. I thought, like I said, a flower bed, the beers, a tissue box. Yeah, just something that you can pop out. So this is what I'm going to show you what to do today. And I probably should have done this as a video or a class, but you know what? We're just going to chit chat. You guys can ask me questions. Really wanted to just give you the overall idea. Pot of gold. Very good. Yeah. So if you guys want to try this yourselves, you can definitely do that. Once I make a few more of these and I perfect it, I may have a class out there that I give you the whole kit, because there is, even though I said there's no die, I lied a little bit. There is one die. It's this one here. And that's what creates my opening. But my thought is you can draw this out and just use an X-Acto knife. So if you don't have this, I still think you can do it. So I did lie. There is one die, but the rest of it pretty much is just measurements and cutting. And we'll talk about the time that I do this at the end of the video. I know some people have asked me to go back to 4 o'clock. Sometimes 4 o'clock is tough for me. It's hard with all the different time zones. So yeah, we'll talk about that at the end. So let me go ahead and kind of break this down for you. We're going to do a deep dive here. All right. So, I just explained this is a 6x6. So your card base is a 6x6, y'all. And then for your paper, I just cut off, 1/4 of an inch on each side to give me a nice border. All right. And you just kind of plop that down. And then if you want to put somebody's name, if you want to do cheers, I know there's some great stamps out there that say cheers. You know, whatever you want to do on the background. An idea I had for the background, if you're not doing it for somebody specific, I love to personalize cards. I think they're a lot of fun. But if you wanted to do this just in the background, you know, maybe do like some brown cardstock or something, and then this could be your background. It doesn't take up the whole thing, so you know, you might want to think about that. But that's an idea, right? Maybe a stamp, maybe some beers on the side of it. I don't know. I'll let you guys worry about the background. The beers I did with this, so I stamped this out. Then I colored them, and then I fussy cut them. So that was my beers. And then for the mug, same thing. I stamped it, colored it, and I fussy cut it out. So that's how I came up with my beer bottles and my mug o' beer. So let's talk about the box. Let's see. This would be fun too, right? If you did maybe coffee coming out, maybe like a coffee shop or something. All sorts of ideas. So Rainbow saying where the beer bottles could be part of the bar table. Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of things you can do with this, I think. So let's get down to it. All right. So the first thing I did was you're just going to need a regular 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, y'all. So let me put that over there. So 8.5 by 11. All right. And then I cut it at 5 inches. So when you cut it at 5 inches, you have this piece here. Okay. Now, once you have this piece here, you want to get your little scoreboard and you're going to score it. So your first score is at 1/2 inch. All right. And then you're going to flip it around. And then you're going to go 2 inches. All right. And then another 2. I guess you could have done 4. So, right? 2, 4, and 6, essentially, is what you're doing. I don't know why. I like to make sure they're exactly the same, so I do it this way. But essentially, 2 inches is what you're going to do. Because your box is 5 by 2. So that's where you get your measurements. All right, everybody with me? And then once you have your score lines, just reinforce them. And this becomes your little box, you guys. So before you glue this down, this is where I took my die. So what you guys would want to do is, number one, make sure that when you are cutting the hole, it's at the top of the box, right? So figure out where your top is. And then I just kind of eyeballed it. So this little die here, I did 1 and then I did 2. All right, you guys with me? So here is what I cut out. And this is, what is this? This is 1/2 inch. Okay, so that's my opening. And it is about 3.5. So a little-ish under 3.5. So 1/2 inch here and a little under 3.5. Like I said, I just used this die, and whatever the opening was, that's what I went with. So yep, I just said, yeah, 1/2 inch, Rainbow, by about 3.5. But what I would do if I were y'all is just figure out how far you want it in from the sides, and then just draw your, using a ruler, I recommend a ruler, and then draw it in. When I first did it, like I said, it took me 5 tries. I used the bigger die, but it was just too big. So that's when I went down to this little die. And this was part of, yep, you're welcome, Rainbow. This is part of a die that I've had forever. And like I said, when I saw the video, I thought, I'm going to try to make that. And I did. All right, so once you have your, score lines, and you've cut this down, let's get this piece off here, you guys. Yeah, you can definitely custom make the sizes. Absolutely. Oh, excuse me. All right. Hello, Pam. All right, so I kind of rushed this through my die machine, so I didn't do a great job. Let me just release this here. PB&J sandwich. Whatever you want to put in the box would be great. Yep. All right, so let me just get this released here. All right. So do a better job than I did when you're die cutting. But you can certainly use an X-Acto knife. Absolutely. All right. God, that cough, my goodness. Got some hot tea going here. Oh, thank you, Rainbow. Yep, I had a sneeze there. All right, so once you guys with me, you've got your scores, right? And now I've got my box. All right, now this is where I kind of had to fumble a little bit, because when I put my bears in, they were wobbly, and I'm like, we can't have wobbly bears. So that's when I decided to go ahead and make these little things here that I secured, so I can actually add the beer bottles too. So if I recall, shoot, I'm gonna have to remember now. So this is 5, so I think it was a little less than 5, and then it was 2. But remember, you have to have your score lines. So let's figure out what we're doing here. So we want, so I don't write my recipes down for my cards. I probably should. All right, so we want 5, because that's how long it is, right? Let me think about this. We want 5. See, I've got to think about this. Okay, we want, told you I just made this up as I went along. So this is 2 right here. And we need to add for the score lines. So yep, that's right. All right. So 5, a little less than 5, because I don't want it all the way to the edge. So I'm going 4 3/4. All right. And then for the height, this is where you have to add. So if I just did 2, I wouldn't have enough for my score line. So I'm going to do 2.5. All right. So I want to do 2.5. All right. And then I'm going to do another one at 2.5. Okay. So are you with me? So we did 4 3/4, right? By 2.5. So you need 2 of these. Okay. And these are going to be what anchor to your box to be able to add your beer to. All right. Or your molasses cookies, or whatever you're going to add to your box. All right, so here is where we need to do some scoring. So you want to score at 1/4 inch on both sides. All right, so I just score, and then I just flip it around and I score again. And these are going to be what anchor to the top and the bottom. Okay, so these are your anchors, and these are very important if you don't want wobbly beers. All right. And like Rainbow said, nobody wants a wobbly beer. All right, so this is going to be what you anchor. Okay, so 1/4 inch and 1/4 inch. And I'm sure you guys probably would have gotten it on the first try, but again, it required math. So it took me a few tries to get it down. But once I got it, I got it. And I'm going to make a few of these. I think these would make fun birthday cards. I think I'm going to add them to my shop, and then I will like do personalized orders. So for instance, if you had a send, I mean, the name couldn't be too long, right? Or else I'd have to do smaller letters. But if anybody, you know, in my shop did a personal request or a personal order, I can make these. So we'll see. We'll see if I want to commit to that much work. If it's too much work, I may not want to do it. All right. So here we go. So when you add these, let me see if I can explain this. You want to add your beer. So you want your panel to be on the front of the slit. So when you're adding this, you don't want your panel to be in the back. You want it to be in the front. So when you're adding these, the first one you're going to add is to this middle piece. So that's the first thing you're going to do is you're going to glue this down. All right. So yep, definitely, Jim. You can change it to cheers. If I do some of these for the shop, just as cards, that's exactly what I'll do. Is I'll just do cheers. I won't personalize it. So yeah, I think these cards would sell really well in my shop. I could be wrong, but that was my thought. Non-wobbly beers. Yes. Nobody wants a wobbly beer. Okay, so this is going to go right in the middle, y'all. So you did this quarter of an inch here. You're going to add some adhesive. I personally like wet adhesive. You can use the strips. But gosh, once you add it to your paper, I hope you get it right the first time because there's no movement. All right, so this is going to go like this. Okay, and then just line it up to the edge, you guys. And then do a little foldy fold because remember when this goes into your card, into your envelope, you want everything to fold nicely. After a few beers, you might be wobbly, right? You'll be wobbly, but your beers won't be. So Cordelia says she has a die that's a beer crate and beer, but it's pretty much flat. All right, so there is my first tab. And then as you can see, when I close this, you guys, I'm going to glue the bottom part, and that's going to anchor my bar. I don't even know what that's called. That's going to anchor this. All right, so that's the first slit. The second slit is the same exact thing. You just have to make sure and this is backwards. Turn it around. See, you guys? This is why it took me five tries. All right, so, and I'll talk to you about what I just did here. So, this is why it takes me 5 tries. Okay, so this is for, I'm screwing up here, you guys. Hold on. Bear with me. This is going to go on this. I was right the first time. See, I'm double guessing myself. I was right the first time. So this math, it's the math thing. This has to be facing this way because the beer attaches to this. This is how I got to do it. All right, so the beer attaches to this. It needs to be like this. Okay, this is what happens when I'm doing it live. If I'm editing, I would have edited out all of this. But you can see my mistakes. All right, so you want to make sure the flat part front. So, gosh, I just keep screwing up here. That's not right. That's not right. Hold on. Bear with me. Here it is. Okay, here's my flat part. So the beer is going to go against this. That's right. All right. So, sorry, you guys. All right. So I hope that makes sense. So when you're doing this, you just want to make sure when you fold this, this is in the front, because this is what you want your beer to attach to the front. Bowling pins would be fun. All right, sorry, I had my head down, so I didn't see all your comments. So this is where you have to kind of keep it in mind, y'all. You want the flat part to be on the front, because this is what you attach your beer to. Let's pretend these are beer bottles. All right, so that's what you attach to. When you fold, you just want to make sure that the flat part is here. So on this one here, when I fold, there's my flat part. Okay, so this is how it's going to be for the second one. Okay, so Robin, let me see. Let me find your question, Robin. I don't see... I think it's a size issue, though. Okay, Robin, I didn't see your question, so you have to repeat it. All right, so again, add in your glue. And if you use wet glue, if you make mistakes like I do, you can pop it right up. All right, and then this, again, right towards the edge. Make sure I've got it right. Yep, okay. Got it right this time. And then fold it down. Again, remember this is gonna be flat in a card, in an envelope. All right, and then there you go. All right, so that's how it goes. So let me re-go over this. So when you're adding your pieces, this is the front of your card, all right? Or your box, I should say, your beer box. Your beers are gonna go on the front, not on the back, because you don't want to have that big gap. You want them to go on the front. So you want to make sure that your paper is glued to the front, not to the back, but to the front. Is everybody with me? I hope that makes sense. I've only done one full one time. I did several bad ones. But yeah, so that's why it's important that the flat part of your bar is towards the front. All right. Does that make sense? I'm going to pause a minute here. Okay. Could you do 2 of the boxes and then just glue them together to make it more sturdy? Let me think. Can I make 2 boxes and glue them together? Well, I think the problem like that is I don't know if it would be... I don't know how sturdy that would be, Robin. I mean, I guess, and again, you'd have to do math, right? The dreaded math. I think you can make this box smaller. I don't know about putting it together, though. I'd be a little concerned about that. I love that this looks like a toaster, and if we can find some stamps for toast, that would be a lot of fun, wouldn't it? All right, so the next thing I did, I mean, I guess you could glue this down next. I actually closed the box, but I guess you could glue it down first. I glued this together first. I'm just going to do the way I did it. So I glued this closed. I don't know if that's the right or wrong way. We're going to find out in a minute. Let me see. Then I got to get glue on my edge. No, I don't like that idea. All right, take that back. I'm going to add my glue here. Yeah, you definitely need the tabs because that's what prevented my beers from wobbling. So this is wet glue, so we're going to just do it all at the same time here. All right, so I'm going to glue this, right? And then, okay, my head's going to be down, so excuse my head if it's in the camera. And then you just want to make sure these are straight. So I already put the glue on my tab, and now I'm just securing them to the bottom of the box. But you gotta also remember you want your box to be able to fold down, so kind of test it as you go along. I think this is where, if you're using the actual die created by the company, it probably would fold perfectly, but I didn't do that. The first one is pretty easy because it's 1/4 of an inch, so you could almost pretty much just butt it up against the edge of the box, and that's going to be straight for you. It's the second one that causes a bit of a problem. And let's make sure this is lined up too. Movement. This is going to be in the back, so I don't care. All right, so just securing down my paper here. I know you guys got the idea. You just got to fudge with it a little bit. And like I said, if you had the actual die cut from the company, I'm sure it would fold down perfectly. But again, I was a little frugal. But that pretty much is it, y'all. Okay, so just reading the comments. Pizza's in the oven. All right. Sounds good, Robin. Okay, so I've got these secured down, and that's what is going to hold my beers. Just, you got to make sure it's kind of lined up, right? Okay, so does that, and then you see how it folds. It's not perfect, y'all, but I still think it's good enough. This probably needs to come up a little bit more. This definitely needs to go up a little bit more. But that's the idea. I think if you practice, because again, this is only the second one I've really made completely. I'm going to make a few more. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just make several of these, and then I'm going to make the cards. So after a while, I'm going to become, mine are going to be perfect after a while. All right, so just trying to get this lined up. If you guys can think of an easier way, I'm all for it. Let me just trim this a little bit. But that's how I did it. And I was able to make my son's birthday card. And it came out pretty good. I was happy with it. But it took me a minute. But I just wanted to show you my process of how I got to this point. Just by trial and error. And that's really what I wanted to relay is, you know, I know that Tim just had his release of all of his dies, and I know they're wonderful. But gosh, it just really eats into the bank account. So this year, I'm going to try to do my own dies, I guess. Not, I mean, this isn't really a die, but if it requires construction, and I know dies are the easier route, I get it. the die would be so much easier. But my goodness, the bank account is suffering. All right, so that's basically it. So once you have, well, I guess we could put the card together, right? I mean, you guys get it. We can make another one, I think, if you need me to. But that's pretty much it. You just want to make sure that you have an anchor for this. And then when you put your box on your card, make sure that your panel is in the front. Because, again, this is what your beers are going to attach to. So pretend those are beers. So this is where you can, so just kind of, and then when this dries completely, it folds down pretty good. I wouldn't say it folds down perfectly like I'm sure the die would, but it folds down good enough. Additionally, if you had to, right, you can construct an envelope that was a little bit thicker. I mean, yeah, there's always a way to figure it out. And that's really what I wanted to get my point across. You know, between all of us, we can figure it out. and I'm sure he's going to like this. But yeah, so that's how I did it. So should we put a card together, you guys? I think I have, what did I do with my panel? Custom make the envelope, exactly, yep. All right, so okay, so this would be on, you know, on my card. It folds down. It's not completely flat. I think if I fussed with it a little bit more, I probably could get it a little flatter. But again, I just did this. I think when I posted it on Instagram, I was just so happy I finally got the box together. But I think if we fuss with it a little bit more, we can get it even flatter. But that's basically it. You got your measurements. The key is to make sure you have these anchored down to attach whatever you're going to attach. And then for the box, what I ended up doing is, because I wanted it to look like a crate, I think these are, yeah, these are 1/2 inch. Yep, 1/2 inch. So for these that go across, what I ended up doing to make it look like a crate is, so these are 2. So these are 2, 1, 2, and a little bit more. So 2 1/4, and then 2 1/4. Okay, so these are going to be on your crate, okay? Now, the reason that these slits or these things are important is it helps to weigh this down. So when it opens up, you've got a little bit more weight in the front to help that stay down, if that makes sense. Otherwise, your box might be going up a little bit. So the box crates actually help to give it a little bit more weight to hold it down. So again, here's your top. Make sure your slits are in the front. These are going to go here, and then you're going to need 2 strips that are 5 by 1/2 inch. So let's do the 5 first. 5, right? And then 1/2 inch. Let's see, half. There's 1. Is that a half? Let's see, that's too big. Right there. All right. Okay, so here are the strips for the crate. Okay, so I also distressed my box. So you guys know that my distress ink of choice is walnut stain. So I added this to the edge. Let's see if we can cut that a little bit. A little bit. Just sometimes I should just leave things alone, but you know me, I don't. I don't like it. I don't like it. All right. So adding a little distress, using walnut stain. So I think Pam is asking how big was this. So when I measured it right at this metal part here, and that was a 1/2 inch. So I just pulled it all the way down here, and I lined it up with that metal, and that gave me a 1/2 inch. I think that's what you're asking me, Pam. So yep, so we are adding our distress ink. Distress. Ooh. And remember, when you guys make this box, you won't be on camera. So it's okay if you screw up and have to do it a couple of times like I did, because nobody's going to see you. And it literally took me about 5 tries to get it right, you guys. The anchor didn't occur to me until the end, and I'm like, why are my beers wobbly? And then I realized it was, my beers weren't wobbly, my base was wobbly. And that's what was causing me the problem. So trial and error. It's just paper. If you screw up, you can throw it away and start over. Okay, so Pam, no, I'm saying put the whole piece on the trimmer and then slide it to the right. Yes, you could do that as well. Absolutely. I like to go the hard route, unfortunately. Sometimes I take the route less traveled. I don't know why. You'd think you would take an easier route, but yes, you could do that as well. All right, I've seen Tim do that. All right, so I'm just distressing the box just to give it a little bit more shadow. Another thing I thought about too is if you wanted to just cut, you know, the whole box, and you can put just a strip in the middle, but then you would see the cuts. I kind of like that it's all one piece, but that's another idea. I don't like that idea, but that is an idea. Sometimes you have ideas and they're not the best ideas, but it's still an idea, right? Yeah, I ate a lot of chocolate over the holidays, so I'm trying to refrain. Okay. I think that's good enough. All right, so I've distressed it using walnut stain. That's my stain of choice. And then let's go ahead and put, I guess I'll do a beer card again. And I think, I'm trying to think here. I have a stamp that says cheers. I'm thinking out loud here. All right, so I had to find, so yeah, I have this stamp here that says like cheers, birthday, happy birthday, celebrate. So if you wanted to go more generic, oh, you know what, you guys, look at, for Halloween, these are sitting on my desk. These are the old, like the old bottles. Those would be good, right? Apothecary bottles. And like make it, I don't know. Ooh, that would be fun. Fun. See, I got bottles of different sizes. Yes. Okay, I'm not going to do that on camera because I'm sure I'm going to screw up. But that's going to be my next one. We'll stick to the beer one. But that would be fun. All right, so my background is 6 by 6. So I want to go 5 1/4 by 5 1/4. 5 1/4 by 5 1/4. 99 bottles. All right, so let's distress this. So are any of you guys beer drinkers? I'm not a big beer drinker. My husband loves Guinness. In fact, that's what he had for lunch. We went to a little pub here in town and had Guinness beef stew. It was really good. And we split a Reuben sandwich. He had a Guinness. I had water. Not a huge beer drinker. It's not really my jam. All right. So Rainbow says she loves to see screw-ups. Well, girlfriend, you're on the right channel. I screw up a lot when I'm trying to figure things out. You guys don't always see it. I guess that's what makes my lives real. A lot of times when I'm editing, I edit out the screw-ups. But yeah, I mean, when I'm trying to come up with a design, I know I've said I do prototypes. It doesn't just come to me. I have to sometimes build on an idea. So So it makes it real, right? All right, so there's my background. I'm making it a little bit more generic. So I like the cheers. Let's see. Maybe do like cheers. Cheers to you. Cheers to you. Cheers to you. Something like that, maybe. With this here. Cheers to you. Something like that. Personally, I like the name better. We'll see. All right, so I don't like the plain. Oh, you know what else I just thought of? I have a kit that I did, like a, what did I call it? It was it had men drinking and stuff. I'm going to try to incorporate that to my next card. This is just for demo, but I'm already thinking ahead on what I want to do. I don't like the plain, so I'm trying to come up with a background. Ooh. See, I don't like that either. Sorry, guys. All right, so we're gonna do this. Okay, so this is going to be 5.5 now. 5.5. 5.5. Yeah, I'm going to come up with some more ideas. Like I said, I've got a really good digital kit that has like beer drinkers and backgrounds. I'm going to, now that I kind of got secretly eating chocolate. I promise I'm not. My goal was to show you how to make this box, and then you can decorate it however you want. But let's see if I can come up with something here. I love the idea of the apothecary, those bottles. So I know I'm definitely going to do that, but I'll do it off camera. Here I just kind of want to put the card together. Anywhere to put the beer gift card. I guess you could probably put it inside. Let's think about that a minute. So you might, or maybe even in the background. I mean, instead of, I mean, you can put like attach a gift card there, Robin. let me find something. I don't have a card handy, but I think a card would fit back here. You could put little slits that would hold the card. That's an idea. Rainbow, sorry about that. You know, just measure several times before you glue. Honestly, it's not that hard. This putting these slots are probably the most difficult because you want to kind of get them straight. So your box will fold down. See, even this one doesn't fold down perfectly. Oh, maybe this way. Oh, it folds down that way. Yeah, that's not bad actually. That's pretty good. All right. So yeah. Okay. So let's figure this out. So now we're gonna glue this down. So make sure you glue. This is another thing I screwed up. I glued it like this, and then when I opened the card, or it was like that. So I'm like, well, that's a mistake. So make sure you glue with your slits on the top when it's opened up. That's kind of important. I did that. So always test it when you're about to glue something and you know it's a pop-up or it needs to be a certain way. You know, hold it in place and test it, because I messed that up a few times. All right, so, and then this I put all the way, how did I do this? I put this all the way to the white spot here. So all the way to the edge. And again, when I did it, I just kind of folded it, kind of make believe how it's going to be in my envelope. And see, that's not even straight. There we go. And then you're going to want to make sure it glues before you start messing with it. So my ruler helps to get my beer box glued down. And then we'll give it a minute. And then like I said, do you see how it's kind of, no, you can't really see that, but it's kind of up a little bit. When you put the slots, that helps weigh it down. So we're going to do that next. All right, so these, okay, if you guys make this, make sure you're part of my Facebook group, because I want to see your photos. Or you can email it to me. I'd love to see your photos. Okay, so I'm just distressing this up. And then we're going to put these here. So I've been having, as I distress, I'll tell you what I've been having fun doing. I've been making these little pouches. These are the, you know, the Tim Holtz die. Aren't those cute? I've been having so much fun making these little pouches. All right, so then the next thing you want to do is you want to pop these up. All right. So let's see if we can get that going here. So it's too big. So if you guys haven't hit the like button yet, don't forget to do that. Even if you don't like it, pretend you do. That helps my channel. Leave that there. I need to get some more of my pop-ups here, but this will do for now. So if you don't like it, just hit the like button anyway. Pretend you like it. I like how you can still hit the don't like button, but the YouTube person that owns the channel doesn't see the don't likes anymore, because I think that's mean. You know, I mean, we're putting ourselves out here, whether we're entertaining or not. Just be nice, people. You can say, you may not like what I'm doing, but hopefully you guys like me, right? So if you don't like, if you don't like my video, at least you can say, well, I hit the like button because I like Monica. If you like me, maybe you don't like me. Maybe you're here just to give me a hard time. That's fun too, right? All right, so, okay. I want to make sure my, I don't want that showing. All right. It'll be okay, I think. Right on, Melody. Okay, so, all right, so here is one of them, right? Okay, so just kind of lining it up. And I put foam tape. Again, that's going to help give it some weight. Yeah, not everybody can make a video that everybody's gonna like, right? But you know, we're giving you our time. You're giving me your time. So why not support each other? That's what I say. Thanks, Rainbow. I appreciate that. All right. So I like you guys too. So I need to get some more. Again, I'm trying not to spend money frivolously. So I'm trying to use what I have. These are actually pop-up dots, but I'm using them as strips because I don't have foam tape strips. I need to go to the dollar store. The dollar store has foam tape strips, I think. But I've been stocking the shop, and that's where all my crafting money is going. So at some point, I know I'm going to buy Tim Holtz stamps when his new stamps come out, because I always do. But right now I've been stocking the shop. All right, so there are the panels. I showed you last week, right? These are new in the shop, these stickers. And I've been using these. I always entertain you. Too thick, yeah. Yep, I agree, Rainbow. I've been using my stickers to make these. I shared these with you on Friday. And then I'm scanning them, and I'm going to make them into digitals. But aren't those fun? I've been having a really fun time. These are in the shop too, these ladies. But I've been having a really fun time making these. All right, so there's the two strips. Yeah, Rainbow, I've got a whole bunch of new stickers in the shop. If you haven't checked out the shop recently, I've been adding tons and tons of stickers to be able to decorate. Like right now I've got these little Valentine stickers in there. Really, really cute. Yeah, one thing, you know, stamps are great, but not everybody is a great colorist. So I think stickers are great for background. I try, Rainbow, I try. All right, so these next are going on your panel. Again, you don't have to do this step, but the weight of the lost my train of thought. The weight of the, apparently I can't glue and talk at the same time. The weight of the foam strips help the box stay down. All right. That's like, can you pat your head and rub your stomach at the same time? Apparently I can't do two things at the same time. All right. Okay, so there is that. And already, and then, you know, now that it's glued, I can kind of adjust it a little bit more to help the box stay down. Pretty good. All right. And then when it goes into the card, or into the envelope, I should say, it goes like that. All right, so that's it. I wasn't going to go into the whole coloring of the images. I wanted to really just show you the process for putting together the box. So yeah, I mean, that pretty much does it. And then at this point, and what I like about this also, I don't know if you can see, but the box weighs it down, and in the back the card is coming up a little bit, but that's okay, right? I mean, the idea is for your card to stand up. Also, once you put in your, you know, your beers or your cookies or whatever you're going to put in here, I'm just reading notes. Oh, you're welcome, Rainbow. Yeah, so when you put things in here, then it will also help to hold it down. So you pretty much, you know, that will help you. And I also noticed here, don't do this. So when I glued this box, look at my strips are in the back now. This box should have been glued the other way around. So I probably would have been paying more attention if I wasn't on video, but keep that in mind. So when you glue this, you want these strips to be in the front, because you want to glue your beer bottles. Right now I'd have to glue them to the back, and I don't want them in the back. I want them in the front. So just keep that in mind. Be really careful when you're putting this together. Pay attention. I'm sure the reason I had to make 5 for my prototype is because I wasn't paying attention, but I think if you pay attention, it'll come up pretty good. Your beer bottles will be glued to the front, so make sure when you glue your box, I'm showing you what not to do. When you glue your box, make sure that these strips are in the front. I mean, I can't even fix it because I've already glued these down, but that's okay. This was just my demonstration card. So yeah, that's pretty much it, you guys. I think you have the idea. It's not hard. You just got to really pay attention to what you're doing. This probably would still work. I can glue my beer bottles to the back. I don't prefer that, but I could. No big thing. they probably wouldn't even notice. You're right, Rainbow. But again, I'm that perfectionist here. Um, and and I say that you're like, Monica, you're not a perfectionist. You never go for perfection. You're right about that. But when it comes to the way something's supposed to sit or lay, I do want it to be perfect. I don't mind if it's grungy. I love grunge. But if I need for something to be, I want my beer bottles to be in the front, not in the back. You know, you got to make sure your tables are on the front. So no big deal. It still holds up nicely. I've got my card done for my son, so I don't have to make another one. But I hope you guys try this. It is really fun. You might be using your cuss words while you're making it, Rainbow, so I apologize to that. So don't have a beer while you're making your beer card because you might mess up. But maybe it'll help the process. I don't know. Maybe it will. So again, the set that I used was the Tim Holtz chair. I think it's called Chairs, right? Where's that set? I used this set here called Beer Blueprints. I don't even know if it's still available. Is it, you guys? But that's what I used. I am going to, Elizabeth, you'll appreciate this. You used my stickers that had Pepsi Cola, remember? And you're like, Monica, you need to have Coca-Cola stickers. And I'm like, I know, but I don't have any. I think I'm going to blow up my Coca-Cola bottles. And that would be fun to put Coca-Cola in here for those people that aren't, beer drinkers, might like Pepsi. And I have those around here somewhere. I don't know where they're at. But anyway, so we'll see. I think there's a lot of things. Don't drink and craft. Got it. It might help, but I don't know. But yeah, so that's the basic idea. I am over an hour, so I hope that it made sense. I know I rambled on a little bit, but that's how I roll on these lives. Just really wanted to show you how I broke this down. Really easy to put this together. I mean, the whole box itself is easy. The most difficult part, of course, is to make sure you have your bars lined up correctly. And then you just fill it with whatever you want. All right, guys. You could buy the Coke set. I'll see what I can do. Elizabeth, I have a lot of vintage Coke ads. I just got to find the bottles. So I'll see what I can do for you, girl. If you do end up making this, I would love to see it. Shoot me an email. Put it over on my Facebook group. I would love to see your guys' take on this. But super fun card. And if you like pop-ups, you know, it's really great. All right, guys. A Diet Coke stamp. I know that would be nice, Robin. All right, guys. I hope you all have a wonderful week. For those of you that are off tomorrow for Martin Luther King's birthday, I hope you enjoy your day off. And we will see you next time. All right.